Legally speak, your brother for divorce. The court's judgment would be, it just horrifies me that I get half of this place. I believe I can get half this place for judgment. On the grounds that your mother's got this $385,000 in the bank and she doesn't, and she'll get half. The value of this, it's got to be all written out so you'll bloody fucking wake up to yourself at the lowest level. This place is approximately $500,000. That place across the road is $500,000. I've got a fifth share. I can't even be bothered doing the fucking demonic arithmetic. It's not the arithmetic. I would get that's about $500,000. I would get 100,000. A fifth share. The fifth share of 500,000 is 100,000. Okay.
Mm. Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
You did that pretty bloody fucking fast, and that's bloody mental arithmetic. You're a bloody engineer. You're a nothing. You're literally locked up by the government. Oh, Marv, I'm trying to tell you about 10 scenarios at once. Back at number 59, yeah, number 39, bloody numbers. How much more? Physically, I'm collapsing. I'm not sleeping. Well, no, I'm being broken down psychologically and physically. I wasn't broken down in 1972 when I had to sell up the property where I lost everything. I was homeless. The only thing I owned was what I could salvage from the house and the car. It took me 4 weeks to move out from number 39. I got nothing. No. I was given everything by God, who doesn't seem to be helping me this time. I had nowhere to go. So first of all, I had to find somewhere to live. And I did it all and moved out in 4 weeks. It was a miracle. Well, actually, it only took me a week to move out because in a couple of weeks, I was driving around looking for a place to live. And this is the interesting bit. So I drove, have I told you the story before in this detail?
Probably.
Probably.
Mm.
Well, tell me if you have heard it before.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is very significant. So, first of all, when I sold the house, I didn't have anywhere to move at all. I had nowhere to go. So I got the idea to look for somewhere else to live, even though I didn't know what I was looking for because I had no money. But basically, maybe just a couple of hundred. I was still running a yoga school at the time. Because this was 1970 and I started up the yoga school in 1959. So I'd been running a yoga school for 10 years. So I was still getting a bit of money from that. Because my yoga teachers were supporting themselves by supporting the yoga school, which I'd organised. Got the picture?
Yeah.
So they weren't spiritually, psychologically on my, involved in what I was, in my turmoil, in my existential crisis. So I was virtually alone. My mother was still living in Perth. I was alone at all levels, spiritual, mental, physical. I was not a friend of the world except my car and my own wits, such as were left. And so I drove in ever increasing circles around Adelaide, looking for a place to live. Well, eventually I ended up 40 k's away down at Belvedere, an outer suburb of South Alban, a ghost town. I went to a local land agent. I said, "Oh, anywhere I can might be able to get to live." And, he to buy or live or stay. But for some reason I was looking for somewhere to maybe live. I thought cheaply. I didn't know what, why, or how. Anyway, we drove out to Belvedere. He showed me where it was. We saw this little cottage on a 2 acre land, temporary title. Well, it was as good as you could get because they hadn't finished the government surveying. Anyway, so I got a title so that there was a title available. I said, "Oh, how much?" He said, "Oh, I'd offer them $200." $200 for a place to live in 1970, 71, thereabouts. I said, "Oh, I think I might be able to scratch that up." So I bought it. Have you seen a photograph or a painting? Or I did a painting from memory, gave it to Frances. I don't know what she done to what she did with it. Have you seen a photograph of it?
No.
No. Well, you should. It's very memorable. It probably it might be still there, or it might have been demolished. I don't know. But at one stage, I have had vision. I could still do another visual image of it, which was a little 4-room cottage on this, as I say, this 2 acre limited title. So I had a place to live. So, well, I had about a week. That was, I think, almost at the knocker before I had to move out at number 39, Cumberland Park, Hill Avenue, Cumberland Park. So I spent the rest of the week working 24/7, moving everything down there. So, and I had that place. Now I bought that for 200, but that was just at the beginning of the boom. The people were moving out from the suburbs into the hills. Now, 5-6 years, I bought this place in 76, 20 acres for $16,000. Because, as I say, the people that was just at the time that I sold that place down there. People were moving out of the suburbs. And anyway, that's the way it worked. So that money that I got for that enabled me to get things started here. To buy this place for $17,000 on a mortgage, a temporary finance. I maintained that fucking temporary finance all the time from 1976 until until your mother's father took it over, but I still had which was in just before Freya was born. And the valuation of the place then would have been at least a quarter other million, 250 I think, but I still have $17,000 mortgage. Well, of course, Bill Rudd would have seen that as a pretty good deal because he gets rid of his daughter onto me. Whew. By taking over my mortgage, thereby indebting me to him morally. So I repaid that moral indebtedness to him by giving his daughter 50% ownership of this place.
Mm.
That was in 1980, 81, thereabouts. A couple of years before Freya was born. So that's how she got her hooks into this place. Well, now, if I sold this place, I would get the value would be about $500,000. I would lose my life's work. You killed your mother because it could or it might have to be sold. Now I'd lose everything, and you lot as well. I mean, it's unthinkable. I mean, it's just so ghastly. the ghost thief has already gotten your mother. it would physically down your bodies. If you can't defend your physical body somehow or another, by dusting, well, then you don't be change your physical body.
Yeah.
Now, so where's your going? On a daily basis, it seems already to have claimed your physical body. You're out of it, morally, spiritually. Your mother is being a demon in my life, in my house, which she also jointly owns. The way that I can get rid of her, to be free of her, she would go nuts. She's already admitted to me 20 years ago. She's a codependent. She needs someone to latch onto. I'm it. Well, if I get rid of her physically, the government gets you. You and your haymakers. How far would you go with the police department, with the social welfare department, with the who would get you? The community affairs department. You're no longer technically a child, so it wouldn't be the Department for Child Protection. The Department for Child Protection, sir. Who would the department be protecting the child from? Oh, but the parents, of course. That is so totally revealing. That fucking name. CPD, Child Protection Department. Oh, the government has to protect the child from the parents, he says. Sorry about that. That's how we've got to preserve our society. Society? From the Latin socius, a friend. They're all fucking demons, fighting amongst themselves. They're having children who sleep during the fucking day because they can't face the fucking day. I spent, how long? Let's be materialistic. Oh, just before I conclude, sir. I mean, how much time, physical time, do I have to invest? We're running out of time. So are you. We've been running out of time for a long bloody time now. We're running out of it. We have run out of time. I declared to myself, we have run out of time. Shoo, quite a while back. If you won't pay attention, please, maybe I know people who will. We, in quotes, have run out of time and did so a while back. It is now Judgment Day. No. Get on. Then Judgment Day and etc. All at once. I'm not getting responses to you, so I'll just write to my rebel friends. Now the thing is, I think I've just got to. I don't know what your mother's. It's going to cost me. It's going to be. Well, it's not wasted money if I get your mother to come to her senses. But I don't know that she's going to come to her senses. But faced with the material reality, as you too, sir, of losing her home here, her home across the road. I end up selling everything up, getting rid of you lot, because you're not helping me to save you. I can't save you all, unless you wake up to yourself. I saved myself at the time. I was saved by a miracle, just in finding that little place. That's a fact. It's all on the fucking government records. What sort of miracle saved me so that I had a place as a refuge for myself and a few little pets? Some of the pets I lost. I kept an axolotl, pet axolotl. I bought him for 6 shillings at people's stores 9 years earlier. So they only lived that long. My girlfriend, he conked down there. I don't know why, but but my girlfriend said, same as your mother does, fault acting. Oh, you didn't look after him. You killed the animal. You killed your little axolotl. Bullshit, lady. That's the life spent. I rang up the bloody zoo and the museum. I said, how long do axolotls do? I said, just a few years. They live in the deepest parts of the Mexican jungle pools. They're tropical. They're an amphibian, but they're a cross between a sort of a frog and they're freshwater animal that lives in the bottom of the black ponds of Mexico, an axolotl. Bought it for 6 shillings, had it for 9-10 years, still 71. And they said, I said, I had him for 10 years. Oh, we've never even heard of one living that long in captivity. But she still had a bloody fucking falsely accused me. Not looking after the creature. Because I'm a bloke. Same as your mother. She was nuts. Same as Laura. Well, most of my girlfriends seem to be nuts because they were females. But the point is that after all this is sold up on that place, and your mother has got nowhere to go, neither do your kids. Well, where do you fucking go? Got any idea? I won't wait for the answer. The only responses I've seen is in the twitches of your face. So they've told me a bit of a story. So you bloody registered something, but as to how much you've registered, I don't know. It's the same with your mother. You seem to have lost the ability to speak. Your mother hasn't, but all she vomits is toxic, demonic bullshit, which it's useless. The same as you to yourself. Your mother's the first enemy of herself, same as you. We're each trying to get on with the life, so's Freya. Well, look, gang, unless you politically join up as a union and decide to support me, I know what I'm doing. Been there, done that. I'm telling you what the deal is. Your mother ends up with all that fucking money that she's sitting on. I mean, it's almost as though she's trying to incubate it. Chucky sitting on this golden nest egg. 385. Oh, if I sit on that, I'll incubate it. I'll get a lot of. She's not even getting as much money as she could if she exploited the money. I don't know what she's not telling me. $385,000. I mean, she's sitting like a chucky, hoping to hatch something. She's going to hatch something, all right. She's going to set a bloody fire under the arses of the lot of you. So you're all going to have fires under your eyes. Your mother, Freya, William, and somebody else who doesn't even seem to have the energy to respond. It denies that he even exists, his physical existence. If you don't exist physically, your brain's not going to stand much of a chance, nor your spirit either. So your mother ends up with 385,000 plus. Oh, the arithmetic is disastrous. 385,000 plus another. Whatever she gets, she gets hundreds of thousands of dollars. I get a fifth share across the road. If that's $500,000, I get 100,000 there. If this is split up, I get it and sells for 500,000. I get 250,000. So I end up with 350,000 fucking dollars. Homeless. My life's work lost. My family lost. Forever. When all that's instituted physically, you don't get it back. Physically. Or mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Physically, it is settled. So I end up with 350,000 alone in the world. Again, I don't even know whether I have a vehicle this time, whether I do or whether I don't. My Ford Chevy was the only friend I had in the world at the time. It was the only true friend. My family had gone, taken by the great beast. And I was left with just $200 to buy a place to live. That was a miracle. I can't see any miracle happening this time at all. I see no signs of it. I've prayed, I've word. Oh my God. I just hear the wind whistling in the trees. Where are you, God? Are you asleep? Are you doing what Oscar's doing? Are you having a rest during the day and the night as well? You're doing bugger all during the night time. You're doing bugger all during the daytime. Is Oscar exemplifying what you're doing in my life? No answer. Wind in the trees. Your children all go to buggery. Freya still got a where's she? She gets Well, what does she get? Well, basically, the government gets your mother's money. So, so, so she's got $385,000. So she gets declared insane, and the public trustee takes her money. You kids don't get it. She hasn't even made a will. I'm having problems even making a will. And I'm leaving the fucking lot to you when I'm taken to the scene, to your mother and you lot of scaly wasters. There are no words to describe you. Your mother's a demon. She's worse than useless. She's an enemy in the camp. What a camp. We've got a camp at the moment. We've got somewhere to live. Here, there. You could live over there. I could live over there. I slept there one night, and Freya said, "Oh no, you know, she made a bed for me up there, sweet darling, trying to defend her, trying to make a life for herself. You're not even trying to make a life. What the bloody fucking hell are you doing, sir? Planning anything, arranging anything politically at any level, in your own mind, in your own heart? Do you have a heart left?" I was taken care of by. Well, my mother was alive at the time. She didn't come back from Perth. She was in Perth. She didn't. She came back to Adelaide at the time. She saw that I was, in difficulties. She still had her husband, so she sold up over there. Bronte was still alive, living with Robin, but only for a few more years, because we're talking about 1976. Well, gracious me. Came to 1980, 81, 82. Yeah, that's right. Well, she went on for another 10 years. Oh, that's right. Because I put the property down there in Bronte's name. And she acted as cover for me, as trustee, as it were. It wasn't in my name, but I sold it for $7,000. She let me have all the money. She didn't want any commission. She was one of my guardian angels. That was the element I left out of the story, which enabled me to put a deposit on this place. And her husband, the bank manager, didn't argue with her. It was no skin off Bronte's nose. I paid the rates all along. And your mother didn't come in on the scene until just before Freya arrived in 1981-82, which is when I gave her half the place and when Bill backed me up financially to keep your mother here with me. That was his way of paying them. Well, so he left his estate to your mother, and she turned bloody fucking traitor, demon. Just dumps me. I'm in the shit. I've given everything to her, for her few children. I've got nowhere to fucking live in my own fucking property. That's not fair, that's not right, that's not just, that's not fucking anything. She owes me a place to fucking live and work. I don't have one. You and Wink are plotting, building your own tool sheds. Oh, good luck to you, gang. Where are you going to build your tool sheds if you don't have anywhere to live? After I've sold the place. I've only asked your political planning. Wink told me that you've got a couple of sheds up there, bought with your mother's money. Oh, goody gumdrops. Oh, you're planning. You're planning well. You're totally discounting me, aren't you? Yes. Oh. You try doing that to me. You won't have anywhere to put your sheds. You'll be lucky even to get your bloody shed kits, even to transport them off the place. You've got to have land to put them on. You won't have it this place, you won't have that place. Not very good political planning, is it? If that's what you're trying to do and totally discount me. Bit crummy planning, isn't it? Doesn't have much vision attached, does it? I'm a visionary. You better wake up to yourself, don't you think, Wink? Wink, what is your name this week? Do you still have a name? Do you still have a consciousness? Do you still have a conscience? You still have what's left of what ought to be a brilliant intellect, a mind. See, 3 levels: physical, mental, spiritual. Your physical, well, your physical's, well, still here. Mental, oh, I don't know, it's starting to get a bit drifty, a bit vague. Spiritual, I don't see much spirit. Any questions or comments? Don't worry about wasting your energy on any fucking applause. I don't need applause or praise or encouragement from anybody, including you. You can't dictate my conscience to me. I've got a conscience. My duty is to my children. But if they turn into demons, if they abandon me, they give me no choice. It's the political thing, you see. Let's talk politics, practicalities. Even if you can't talk, be beyond that. Let's talk saving your skin. I was trying to talk about saving your souls. Oh, no. Duh. Complete lack of repetition. Well, what do you mean? Soul? I get soul? I got soul? 2 of them. Your mother talked about me not having shoes. Souls, S-O-L-E-S. I'm talking about souls, S-O-U-L-S. Okay, if you don't want to recognise S-O-U-L-S, we're talking about souls, S-O-L-E-S, physical souls, shoes, physical bodies. Where will you have your physical bodies to put if I fucking sell this place and that place? That'll be what all I'm going to do is spend a couple of $100 on my credit accounts, and you're all gone from here and there. So the government, basically, she's gone nuts. She gets the $385,000 because she hasn't even made a will. I'm on the way to making a will. I'm even having problems doing that. Why? I'm being challenged at every fucking level. Okay, I've got the answers. I'll just keep on trying, and I'll get a will made. Okay. Now the next thing is get your mother to make a will. Well, I mean, more than that, get your mother to do something properly with the fucking money that she's got, instead of building up your false dreams of building a shed with your shed kit, because you won't have any land to put it on. If you don't understand the spiritual, I'll try to see if you understand the mental. If you don't understand the mental, I'll try at the physical, at the lowest level. I'm not trying to upset you, Oscar. I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm not even threatening you. That stupid boy across the road thought I was threatening. I'm trying to warn him. I'll warn him. I'll warn you. I'll warn any of you at what level I can communicate. Communari. A joint exchange. Com with muniri, Latin. Exchange. Monetary. Muniri, money. It's just a form of exchange. You get the etymology, the origins of the words, the meaning of the linkages. I'm not saying this to upset you. I love all of you, even your mother. Which is why I'm still here, which is why I'm talking to you. But how much it's getting through, I don't know. It's amazing how expressive your face is. Extraordinary. So you happen to have to tell me that you've registered at some level, at the level of ego, at least, which is getting somewhere. But if I've got to institute this further machinery, I'll have to go ahead and do it. I mean, it's just a waste. It's not going to be a waste of time if I achieve anything. If I can't reach you at the highest, I'll reach you at the lowest. I'll meet you there, somewhere, because that's where I am, the highest to the lowest. I think I'll have to have something to eat. Meanwhile, you'll have to wake up to yourself. I've tried to warn him. Stupid boy. He said, you don't threaten me. Threaten? Threaten, fucking idiot. I'm trying to warn you about the dangers that are there. Fucking idiot. Silly boy. Good luck with him, Freya. You're more intelligent than he is. Well, the brains are going to be somewhere in the house. So Freya's got the brains and the spirit. Well, she's doing her best. Wink is, you're not. So I'll have to push all of you as far as I've got to push you. If I can't get through to you at the mental level, I'll get through at the physical. Threaten your bloody fucking physical existence. So your mother gets, well, she still sits on her, what her father gave her, plus she gets another, well, she gets 100,000 from across the road, and she gets half this place at half minute, so she gets 250,000. I'm not even bother going through the rest of it. She gets 250,000 this place. She gets what the same as I do from across the road, 100,000. So she gets 350,000 to add to her 385, which makes which is for what 600,000, not quite. Look, really, I can't be bothered doing the rest of it. It's just ridiculous. It's hypothetical, but I'll bloody institute the machinery to do it anyway. Because the prospects, the arithmetic is just horrendous. You go from there, you've got nowhere to live. So you've got to work in with each other, and your mother is a demon. Any questions or comments at this stage of the game?
No.
Well, please come back, Oscar, because you've been nowhere land for too long. Oh. And so, well, I'm going to have to disturb you every fucking day. Well, no, I'm not going to have the energy, because I'm going to be too busy selling up this place and that place and divorcing your mother. I'm getting exhausted on a daily basis, and your mother's shit is unbearable. Yeah, right. I'm gathering my wits. I had my hat. I know where it is. Yes, but my hat. I remembered it's in my pocket. Is my memory going? Am I getting senile? Like your mother is trying to make me? Not quite. Not quite. Oh yeah. Why should I surrender anything, least of all my wits, to this fucking demon? Because even if I don't save you lot, even if I don't save her, and you've got to back me up. So Wink's not. I mean, he's got to work to survive. This is how the great beast is getting him. Freya's working to survive. So the great beast is leg roped her, has enslaved her physically. The great beast is working on enslaving Wink physically. The great beast hasn't got you. Well, the great beast seems to have got you. Not your mind. Your mind's still working, but it's got you in the heart, in in your conscience, because you don't seem to have one. I'll put the process into operation. I've got no choice. Well, I've tried to warn you. You might take it as a threat, the same as you're too intelligent to take it as a threat. Well, your eyes, your face has indicated to me that you've got the message to some degree. Amazing how the pupils enlarge. They get the message. There's something registering there, but you seem to have lost your tongue. Well, you've got to get it back. Anything else?
No.
Not for the moment. Okay, we'll see. I can't spend time trying to lecture you, trying to explain to you and disturbing you during the day. You'll just have to wake up to yourself. I can't. I can't lift all of you up physically or mentally. I'm not lifting your mother up. She's just bloody fucking gone. She's just too much. Demon, fucking demon. Gone. The demon's got her. The demon threw it in the bottle. I've got to get you as witness. You've got to witness what I'm trying to do with your mother. You've got to witness your mother's behaviour to me. When there's a witness, especially if it's one of your vitally interested ones, for the sake of your life, vitally, your physical existence is at stake. You've got to witness the toxic, demonic behaviour that I've got to suffer from your mother. Mentally, I can endure it. I've practiced all my life. Arseholes have bullied me mentally, psychologically, all my life. What I can just say what Friedrich Nietzsche just said. What hasn't physically killed me has made me stronger. I read the other day, he died in a German mental asylum, insane, but they have suspected that he may have had a syphilis germs, which they get through venereal disease. Once they get into the brain, the person goes insane. He was a great mind, Friedrich Nietzsche. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. He was very much out of the Germans, the Hitler's regime embraced him as a philosopher. He proposed a hero, a great hero. That's what they thought. So they gave Nietzsche a bad name, which he did not deserve. He went out of fashion in the universities, but he's since come back in fashion. He was a very relevant thinker. He was a lifelong bachelor, but he used to visit the brothels. That's where he got his syphilis germ, which eventually got his brain, you see. Thus spake Zarathustra, who was a mythological hero for the Zoroastrians. He spoke. He wrote that book. Thus, translated to English, thus spake Zarathustra. I've never read it, but it was a dramatization of the ideal hero. So, which of course the Nazis saw themselves as demons, like your mother. She thinks she's being a hero, sitting on the bloody fucking money, shitting on me on a daily basis, and enslaving you children. I can't stop talking. I've got to try to communicate the urgency of the situation. the battlefield continues, Oscar. You're on it. At the moment you're sleeping over there in the scrub. You've got to, you are involved in the war because the enemies just see you as useless at the moment. They see you as a slave. All of your physical hijinks, they'll be useless. I couldn't defend myself physically against the bloody arseholes who stuck a pentothal or what it's a in my gluteus maximus or wherever they are. I think that's the bum muscles there, gluteus maximus, whatever the muscles are, and that knocked me out, but not totally. It's a temporary anaesthetic, physical anaesthetic. Because I remember waking up in the hospital in the loony van as they were taking me from St Margaret's bloody arsehole Roman Catholic private loony hospital, where they'd have me up. They didn't even lock me up for a day. A day's 24 hours. Your mother was saying they lock. I mean, she's got it all twisted up. I think my parents could have sued them. It's a little local demon coming. That's a good omen. She hit me once, but she didn't draw blood. Oh, what a savage little thing! Yeah. But she's a sweet little demon. You can have a demon that's a friendly little demon. They say that Odin, story goes that he had a black imp always nearby. Well, a black imp, but she's our black imp. So she's in there with you. So I don't know whether I leave the door open or shut. I don't know whether you need. I think you need her in your room. I think that's a good omen. I take that as a good omen. I interpret omens. Omens are physical signs. Nothing happens for no reason at all. It's all cosmic. I think I was saved by God in 1970-71. What else can I put it down to? Force, accident, chance? Oh, how interesting. She's come into the room. You don't want her in the room. She thinks she needs to stay to warn you. That's how I'm interpreting it. She goes to the door. Should I go out? Or, I mean, she's a rabbit brain. If that's not an omen, what is? What else do I have to go on? What omens are you? What signs, portents, signs? What signs of life am I seeing from you? I'm seeing more signs of life, reality, from this black rabbit than I am from you, sir. Well, aside from your very expressive face, which you can't control. But you've been rendered dumb. Find your voice. Find your heart. Find your courage. Where's your spirit? This little black rabbit here. She's a little black rabbit. Well, look, she's there, so I'll leave the door open. I don't know what to. Your mother would come storming in. Oh, she wouldn't see it as her omen. She's a materialist. She's too busy occupied worshipping her bloody token from Moloch and Mammon. Moloch, power, Mammon, money. Money, power, and money, power, and sex is the title of the books. Money, power, and gender. Well, it's nothing. Yes, sex. No, it's gender. That's right. Well, she's the female. I'm the male. So the gender. That's the gender element. She finds your place very full of omens. She's a very interesting creature. Of course, I called Freya a witch. So this little thing has been her elemental friend. Now she's going out. Now that's the sign for me to leave. I've done the dash here with you. I don't know whether the investment of my life, blood, I should come back again, see? Very interesting. Well, look, I mean, so she's our rabbit, your room. I mean, you got nowhere to live. Neither does your mother. You better get used to the idea. The way you're going at the moment, the way your mother's going at the moment, she doesn't look at where the bloody fucking hell she goes, where the hell you go, I don't know. Does the government get you? Does the government get me? Well, she's out of there with boyfriend. So what does he do? Split with her? Oh, I mean, what? Wake up for yourselves, mob. I better get on. I've got bloody got a lot of things to do. Organise and me practicing to press the button on the doomsday button where all of us go boom in all directions. I go again, what, Belvedere, Strathalbyn, with my, what did I say I can't even bear in mind the total amount I get from both properties. I bloody get something. I get at least a couple of $100,000. I buy a shed out of Monato or shed out of Kanmantu, like what's his name did, the doctor. Her performances, it's amazing. She's fascinated by the signs here, the signs that she registers as smell, sense. She can sense, she can smell, and she doesn't really like the general atmosphere. It's just a curious place. You look at the signs of life, signs of interest, the same as I'm looking for signs of life and interest in you, sir. She's she looked up to see what was up. Her curiosity, her behaviour is fascinating. Oh, she's looking up at what or who it is on the bed. Why should that be of interest? You see, to a rabbit brain. She's curious. All these smells that they all mean something to her rabbit brain. Oh, she jumped up on the bed. She's an amazing creature. I wonder if I said to Freya that she's a familiar, whether Freya would recognise that. I don't know. My level of communication with Freya is just about on par with yours. It's almost zilch. She listens to me. When I ask her a direct question, she gives me a straight answer. That's so much credit to her. But it's to resolving what? I mean, she says, "Do you want me to take your side of the case?" No, sweetie pie. No, no, stick with your mother. See how far you get. You won't get very far digging there, sweetie pie. Not much gets beyond the sheet. I think the same with Sir Oscar here. Oh, all the new smells. Fascinating. Oh, that's that cream, Egyptian magic. Oh, it's a herbal cream. Oh God, well I can't even read it. But oh, that's just a herbal cream. You're approaching the problem from the outside. The problem has got to be dealt with on the inside. Propolis, well, good luck with that. Herbal. Oh, okay, that's right. That's valid. Gracious me! All these do Nikon? That Swinks. Does he use the Nikon? Do you know?
I don't know.
No. Well, he's also got a video.
Mm.
Well, I hope he's been recording the physicality. I mean, but is to you've got to be able to know how to interpret the physicality. I mean, I'm looking at the physicality of this. See, your extreme frustration, or his, or Wink's, has been expressed in what did you do those smashing of the wall? But people do this in their despair. Did you do this with your shoes or with your fists?
Hand.
Yes?
My hand.
Your hand. Oh, Bubby. Well, you know, you can smash your hand. You know, just, I mean, it'd be better on a wall than in a human being, because you'll end up in bloody in the great beast clutches if you do it with a human being. I mean, there's no way that I could sue you for physical violence. Because I'm completely understanding of it, but physical activity, no physical activity is going to be physical activity on the battlefield of the Kurukshetra, which is the battlefield of life, can result in something creative. I won't use the word positive, it can be creative, but only under the guidance of the thought processes, under the guidance of the spirit. When the mind is guided by the spirit, well, then you've got some chance of winning through. I mean, but by all means, you can always plaster over the walls again to make it. But no, it's better to keep them as reminders.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing creature. How she's. Look, I've got to get on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I think I've spoken to you enough. You've got to wake up to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
In all senses, physically, mentally, and above all, spiritually. She almost barked. She went out. This may be a clue for me to leave you to it for the moment too. So I can shut the door behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've tried to warn you. Other than that, I've got to get on with the execution. The political execution. The physico-mental, the mento-physical level. I've got to get on with that job. Because I've lost your mother, and I'm on the way to losing your children because I've lost your mother.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to wake up to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be around during the day to be a witness to your mother's demonic behaviour.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're missing out, so's Wink. Wink is being taken away by the great beast, Freya. Well, how long she's been working, that's the measure of it. She's been working 6 years. She's got $40,000 in the bank, socked away, working 6 years. She's on the way towards making a life. So's Wink now, you're not. Time you were.
Mm.
Do you want light on or off?
Off.
Door open or shut? The light
Off.
Light off?
Yeah.
Door open or shut?
Shut.
Shut.
Mm-hmm.
Righto. You're running out of time.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, you'll be right.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Pure fucking agony.
They get paralysed they get immobilised, I think, with fear. But the fear doesn't, and sometimes I think the fear will make their vag dry out. This is talking technicalities, but in a lot of women, their body mechanism is such that, well, in the case of where they're completely in fear, I expect that their mouth, funnily enough, has certain similarities to the female vagina. when a person is frightened or threatened, they say, my mouth dried up, they feel as though their mouth dries up.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
Well, I think the female vag is the same.
Mm-hmm.
When she's under threat, her vag dries up.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, she feels as though, the call of the wild. So if she's not too frightened, she might say, oh, well, I might as well lie back and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But so her body, her hormones will say, oh, yummy, yummy. But her mind will say, oh my God, this man is a vile animal, and he's violating me. So this wonderful lady, what her surname was, Grace. I mean, like my letter was going to say, dear Grace Tame you are not. We civilization need your wild spirit. It is the true spirit. In the same way as I come in and disturb you, and you go to try to make a haymaker, still lying down. A haymaker, lying down, try to make a haymaker from still lying in bed. Well, your instincts were okay. Your spirit is still. That's main.
Mm.
Your mother's. Your mother. Oh God. Oh. Your mother's spirit. Oh God. This is so horrible. Oh. Your mother's spirit, true spirit, seems to have gone, and a demon has replaced it. What can I do? Spiritually, at the highest level, I know what my response is. I cannot allow this. But physically, if I'm going to be restricted and bound by these circumstances, if she is going to be able to dictate to my children and ruin them, well, I can't stop her trying. But physically, on a daily basis, if she tries to foul up my day, every day, all day, I've got to do something about it. And when he's been distracted, is at work. Well, every time I say the word work, I feel as though I need to vomit. Work. Vomit, you see. I've been vomiting lately as a physical response. Well, it's grinding me down. I'm a delicate constitution, an undauntable spirit. They couldn't keep me fucking locked up in the unofficial private loony farm. Not for one fucking day did they keep me locked up. And I was, oh bloody, how old was I in 1948? In 1949, I think it all blew up. Anyway, in 1949 must have been one of my 9 years. That was the first 9 year in my life, born 1933. 6 years later, in bloody aged 14, 15. You see, it was just at that age that I was able legally to leave school. I didn't have to go to school. Well, my parents lived in the suburbs, so distance education was, they used to have distance education by phone, but you needed to be on a farm out of Whoop Whoop. So I still did the right thing by buying this place, but as regards giving another 50%, equal share, well, that was a slip up, but then again, I can't reverse it now. That's the reality. So who is there to help me? If you like, Tarrant, we're all fucking off. But basically, I've got nothing to lose by, really, I mean, I'm losing the battle. If you children can't back me up, it's a physical war now. Its origins are spiritual wrongfulness, wrong path, group, wrong path, gang, wrong way. Well, I'm representative of the rebellious spirits, and you've got one going one that he just I can't think of his name was an ordinary Dutch name. What was his name? There's an 18-year-old brother of your mother's mother in Holland. When Hitler invaded Holland, 1939, I was in grade 1. Well, grade 1. I was 6. Well, 4 years later, 1944, 45, 5 years later, in 1945, I need a pencil and paper. Well, I was in grade 7. Simple arithmetic. I was 13 in grade 7. 14, 15, 16 at Woodville WDHS. Motto, ad astra per aspera, to the stars, through aspera, hard times, aspiration, aspera, but it's as or aspira. No, it would be aspira. It'd be through breathing. If it was aspera, it's physically Latin. Aspera, not aspira. You see, A is add. Spira would be breathing. Aspera, P-E-R-A, like para, would be physical. That's just an important distinction between spiritually hard times, or para, physically hard times. Well, fucking both. See, as the spirit, the body follows the spirit, right? Are you
Yeah.
paying attention, or am I talking to myself? Because if you're not listening, boy, you can swing at me as much as you like, because it'll be practice swinging at your government jailers. That's the alternative to your gentle, too gentle father. A good psychiatrist. A bloody lawyer in court. They can't solve these profound problems in a flash like that. I mean, Justice Hogarth, I mean, he did the right thing. He looks at me, and I wondered whether he was wondering, oh, he thinks the world's gone insane. I wonder if he's including me. Oh, well. I think now would be a good time, Miss Leland, for you to call in Dr. Forgan. Well, for the moment, the hearing is dismissed. Well, it didn't fucking go any further, because the court, the judge, was just calling for further evidence from my psychiatrist. Well, I wish I'd got a copy of what he wrote. I think he must have been senile at the time. It was drivel. but the judge didn't care if it made sense. From his point of view, well, you know, Ian Dillinger just wants a fucking divorce. Okay, if you're sick of the bullshit, tell him let's grant him a decree, Nisi or decree what? First degree, you know, the other degree will come automatically, you know. It was just a real procedure. So I fixed him and he fixed me. Because my response was appropriate. And my response was from the heart. And the court had to accept my word from the heart, because it was a business situation. It gave me a go. I was in charge of the situation because I was under oath, even though the judge was the chairman of the doings. So that was the last that I fucking heard. The divorce went through. I did see a copy of Dr. Forgan's evidence, I call it. Mr. Beer, you know, it was a practitioner of yoga, or he almost wrote yogurt. I mean, his evidence was laughable, but it served the court. But you see, it served the formalities. That little movie, I'm picking it up. I suppose it's not going to go off. So, well, that's right. Oh, that's Sony. That's a right. Oh, good one. Did you keep it charged up?
No.
No. Oh, pity. Oh, because that's a nice little Sony, should be alright. Movie camera. Look, Oscar, there is no escape. The way that you're going, I've got to have backup. I can't. This is unendurable. It's wiping me out, because your mother's wiped out. Now the trouble is, always misery seeketh company. When you get a person lose control of his own life, which your mother has, she's lost control of her life, and she's dragging us down into her pit, her psychological cesspit. I can't physically drag her along to a psychiatrist, but he after about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chats with your mother, if she would go to one, she's not going to go to one. The only way that you can force a person to consult a psychiatrist she wouldn't even be eavesdropping. She has no respect for my existence. She's treating me on a daily basis like total shit. I cannot stand up against her. It's me versus her alone at the political level. Physically, she just bloody fucking does what she bloody fucking pleases. She's bloody fouling up this. I think she would have heard from the Boers by now. Ian has phoned us to. Well, the point is that she's not getting away with getting a Boer there without involving me. She's doing these bloody fucking things entirely and crushing me at every level, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Physically, by just treating me like shit. I've invested all of my physicality, my whole being, in the care of your mother and you children. I'm losing the battle with you children because I can't relate or manage, or whatever fucking terms you want to use or don't use. To relating is manage. I can't get the respect of you children. Wink gives me respect. Your mother wanted to take the shoes off me that I'm wearing. She's so, I got to listen to that. You're just taking. Taker? She's the taker. She's bloody fucking taken my whole estate, my life's work, and she's put it in the trash bucket. I had a valuable duplicator, a propaganda machine. It was operable back in the 40s and 50s. They say a communist cell consisted of, you know the saying? You've heard it?
No.
Consists of a cadre who was a Como devotee and his girlfriend. And a Gestapo. Because he would write his political propaganda onto a wax sheet, and the Gestapo's, with the Gestapo's you have the option of either you could plug it in, it would have a little motor to turn the printer, the wax sheet, on the printer with the ink in it. I've got 6 ink drums associated with the Roneo Gestapo. Your mother, no reference to me, junks the Roneo machine at the local junk merchant. I went to jail for that machine because it was so expensive. I never finished. I was paying it off by instalments. Roneo Vickers got so upset that I never paid off for it that they took out a very vicious, even the sergeant who delivered the warrant, the summons, court summons, apologised because the Roneo Vickers lawyer had gotten the judge to issue the warrant to me so that if I didn't pay up the money to Roneo, well then the court could sell my house from under me. And the sergeant that delivered that summons to me, Mr. Beering, take this summons. I've got to apologise for having to deliver that as the summons to you, because it's the first one I've ever had to serve on a man where his home was threatened by the debtor is the person owing the money, the creditor is the person who gave him the credit. I've never had to serve such a summons where the man's house was going to be sold under him, a summons issued by a creditor. The first time in my career, and I'm a police sergeant, he apologised. But he had to do his job as an officer of the court, see?
Mm.
That's the procedure. Well, and that happened to me. It was about 1970. I married Laura in 1960. 10 years later, 4 children later, I was surrendering everything. She'd already gotten me under the knuckle. I was going nuts. I had 3 jobs. I was making glutes, trying to sell insurance and drive taxis. I was just going nuts, as I am now. My children were all underage. My youngest had just been born, Gillian. Frances was not old enough to go to school, and neither was Christopher. And the eldest was in grade 2. Michelle, my darling little Michelle, my first baby. Well, I remember what happened to all my children, and I'm still involved in the melee. My wife's gone nuts. So many wives are. They're revolting. They're going nuts, and many more are on the way. It's part of what's happening. All my children were swept away by this toxic flood. Already Michelle, God, Freya is alienated. She's just relating politically, superficially with your mother. She's trying to manage her bloke. I don't think he's super bright, frankly. He's a nice bloke, nice-hearted, that's the main thing. His heart's in the right place, but he's not very bright. He's not even a spiritual warrior. Well, I mean, recognisable. I mean, he's not a professedly spiritual warrior. I don't know what category you're in. No category at all. Well, you can take those to compliments. For what it's worth, I don't know what your estimation of my opinion is. I get no response from you. You're like a zombie. Apart from when you're trying to swing a haymaker at. A haymaker is when you come all the way, you get your fist all around, you get, and then whoops, I missed. Ooh. Oh God. God. Oh Lord, where art thou? How long, oh Lord? I'm quoting from the Psalms. Standard lines. She ain't helping me. Well, she's busy. She's never been so busy. How many bloody alleged humans are there? 8 or 80 billion?
Hmm.
Jesus. I thought it was 8 billion, and a billion is 100,000. 800,000 million alleged humans? Well, I'm sure the planet could stand that, but the trouble is that they're all breeding at the moment. And they're breeding up over mainly in Asia and South America. Less room for you, sir. Your mother is calling me sir, but it's a term of contempt. Sir, she said, sir. You might as well spell the word sir, C-U-R, cur. Now, I'm a shit, you're a shit. All she recognises is a walking shit. And she is running my house? Oh, no. No. So you can say, well, you don't have the strength during the day. Well, you're going to fucking get it, because if you don't, the government's going to take you away. Because the government, the spirit of evil, Satan, has got your mother, and she's only going to lead you into the psalm to, oh Lord, lead me into rich pastures, into peaceful places. Are you listening? Doesn't seem like it. I get up every day and I shiver. Shiz. That's not nice. Thermometer, have you noticed? Oh, this is use that. That's well, it's nice thermometer. It's should be put on a wooden backing board, but better than mercury one. Well, we've got a mercury one out there. I'm going to take it out of commission because your mother's like to bloody fucking spill it. I mean, mercury. See, I'm one of my spiritual symbols is Mercury. He's messenger of the gods. You're descended from Dura, right? The Teutonic god. His grandson was Odin. The Romans, 2,000 years ago, only a flash in the pan, a flicker in the 2,000 years. 2,000 years ago, the Romans recognised our ancestor, Odin. I think he was around about 400 BC. They don't know. They didn't have writing. The Romans recognised the god of the Teutons as Mercury, Mercurius to the Romans, what was he to the Greeks? The dicky birds are upset. They bit me. They were biting your mother because they're out of control. And your mother started to attend them because I told her that they were getting out of control. They were wanting guidance to be managed. You've got to spend time with these pets. We're all busy. You're busy denying yourself a life. Your mother's busy getting out of control and just going berserk and putting shit on me. I'm not allowing it because it's I've had to deal with this sort of tyranny all my life, but mostly it's been physical. But in your mother's case, it's a spiritual tyranny, and it's out of control. Mercury to the Romans. Oh God. No wonder I'm getting these mental blanks. University students going for exams, age 24, 25, they can get mental blanks. It's not just my age. It's the stress. Jenny, your mother would say, oh, I'm getting geriatric. I'm losing it mentally. No, not me, sweetie pie. I'm not losing it mentally. I'm as sharp as ever. No, it's not geriatricity. It's not senility. It's more senility with your mother. Her brain cells, the prefrontal lobes, probably, are rotting. They've been pickled in alcohol. They've been captured by the spirit of evil. I can't allow it to continue. I'm not. So I'm demanding, I'm not threatening you, I'm saying, I'm warning you. The same as the ignorant young fellow Freya's route across the road. I was trying to warn him. He accused me of threatening him. Well, I mean, he's pretty simple, really. I wasn't threatening him, I was trying to warn him. I don't bother to talk to him now. He's not intelligent enough. You are intelligent, but there's another organ situated round about. Where's your rib cage? Oh, round about there. It's called the heart. That is the physical symbol of the moral sense, the courage, which you've got. You know, hey mate, did you what? Ooh, ooh. Good practice, physical exercise, but what it achieves in the eye chakra. Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. Have you looked at what do they call the chakras, the eye center? Well, of course, that's the Sahasrara is up here. Well, not doing much. The all-seeing, the middle eye. What does that see? What it sees is darkness upon the earth. That's what it sees. It's difficult to see in the dark. Well, I'm a bit of a bat. I mean, I'm batty. Rosie Batty is a woman whose son, beautiful young bloke, had his head smashed in by his drunken father, who happened to be a male bloke. Well, I don't know that you're going to have children. You're certainly not contemplating them. And with your complex about your physical prospects, not to mention your mental or your spiritual prospects, you don't seem to be going terribly far, which is a tragedy for the army, physical or spiritual. Wink, juggling two girlfriends at the moment. Well, I think in a way it's probably better to have two girlfriends rather than just one. I mean, the more girlfriends you have, the more that you learn about the sociological, socio-hormonal response or prospects. You're not even at that stage yet. physically and mental, or even mentally, I don't think, apparently. You've got other ideas, dreams. I'm a dreamer. I reckon I can out-dream you, sir, any stage of the game. So when I say sir, I mean in a decent, respectful sir, instead of the spelling that your mother's using, C-U-R, which is cur, but she pronounces it sir. She doesn't fool me. She treats me like a dog. A cur, that's a cur. You know that? Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yes, of course you did. I'm just checking whether you're still there, Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
So this can't continue. She needs a witness. It's an ego game. When there's a witness to this mongralism, she pulls her punches because, you know what I mean, you see, she's got to hide. She's a moral coward. I know this. I've been with her, I've stood by her longer than any other human being. And she's stabbing me in the guts? Oh, she ain't gonna get away with it. She's not. Or if she does convert you to her side in this army, you're all fucking gonna go to the great beast. Because I will consign you there. And you, sir, may lose your spirit altogether. It seems to be a pretty frail spirit as it is. So, first of all, you will lose your spirit. Then you will lose your mind altogether. A brilliant mind, potentially, lost to humankind. Fascinating. The pupils in your eyes. Are you on any? No, it's just your mind. Apparently, you're registering what I say mentally. That's amazing. I've always said how expressive the faces of you children are. It's amazing. You seem to be responding to what I'm saying with your facial expressions, which you can't always control. I'm not wrong, am I? I don't even need your verbal confirmation. I can see it, I can read it in your face because I care enough to read it. I don't think the mother would notice. You're physiologically responding. It's amazing. It's quite remarkable. I've never heard of this happening, but of course it's got to follow physiologically. The physical organs follow the mind, and the mind follows the spirit. Does that make sense? Well, it does. You're not responding to me verbally. Well, that's a bit strange. Because, I mean, I'm all still connected up, see? I've had this experience. I know I'm not wrong. As laid out.